Welcome everyone to the ESL Pro Tour Open Cup Asia, number 55, the second of the year. My name is Alyx, or Queen Alyx, and with me today is my good friend Light_VIP. It has been a while. How is it, my friend?
Who are you, and what have you done with Yaku?
Nothing. He's not in my business.
Oh god, oh god. F's in the chat for Yaku. He will not be joining us today. He is stuck in the basement, but it's great. It's great to be back. It's been a long time since we've been able to cast together, and I believe this is your first time casting ESL Open Cup.
Yes, this is my first ESL Open Cup, and you know what? I'm looking forward to casting a new set of players. It'll be lovely to see. But you know, we're getting right into it. Just jumping right in. In the top left-hand corner of the map, the red Zerg player, hailing from the Philippines. It is the one, the only, EnDerr.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing Team NV. It is Creator.
Well, starting off, we've got, you know, just the usual, pretty standard openings so far, though we do have an early pool from EnDerr. And, you know, given Creator the opportunity to block the hatch a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you still remember this. This is quite common in this matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the standard hatch block. It's just the ZvP thing.
Yep. Nowadays, or for a long time now, it's like, mate, Zergs, we just want to expand at our natural location. Like,
yeah,
please.
Come on. please, just let me expand. Just one hatch. But yeah, it looks like EnDerr with the early pool, kind of not necessarily needing the super early hatch, and having the Zerglings to help discourage any scouting.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Again, like, even though it was an earlier pool, it was by no means an aggressive opener, as we saw by the movement of the Lings. Like, he was just going around scouting, making sure he was safe.
Making sure Creator's not up to anything cheeky. You know, don't want to die to a cannon rush in game one.
Oh yeah, definitely. Meanwhile, Creator is kind of also terrified that EnDerr's gonna all in him. Like, we even have a shield battery here defensively.
Yeah, because he saw the early pool and was like, uh-oh. Like, he went Zealot first. He was ready for a push.
Yeah, definitely. And it's something that we didn't really get to touch on, but of course, EnDerr, if you're unfamiliar with him, he is the best player in the land of the Philippines. Not just that, he's also our most recent regional Oceanic champion.
Yeah, he's quite a strong player within the Oceanic and Southeast Asian region, for sure.
Oh yeah, I know that at least I was really surprised. Like, he was kind of a sleeper agent in DreamHack Oceania. Like, everyone was looking at Probe or Seether or some of the the Pakistani players, and EnDerr just like came out of nowhere and just cleaned up.
Yeah, he kind of popped off. He just like, all right, well, it is time to prove everybody wrong. Who needs Australians when you have me?
Yeah.
What's his name again? It's Caviar, Napoleon, Marquis, Acampado.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. He's definitely didn't have the wiki pulled up, the Wikipedia page pulled up or anything, just to do that bit about his name.
Shaking my head.
Listen, it's been a while, okay? I don't remember everything.
Nah, I have the same thing. I actually have this Wikipedia page up as well, just for that. Oh god! Look, it's the caster meta, okay? We gotta have it up.
Yeah. We gotta have the Wikipedia pages pulled up. It's how you get your information. We don't actually have this shit in our heads. We just pull up the Wikipedia page before the game starts.
Exactly.
casting secrets.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see how EnDerr does. EnDerr, he's the kind of player who is usually, he only practices during the DreamHack season. And outside of that, there's a reason why, I mean, we saw Yaku a little bit surprised. He doesn't usually sign up for weekly events.
Yeah, he's not one to play in these weeklies. You know, you're usually only going to see him in the DreamHacks and that sort of thing. Yeah, like I just haven't seen any of these names in any weeklies, you know, whether it be ESLs or other smaller weeklies.
Yeah, definitely. That's why it's so exciting to see him here. But we'll see how his form is looking like, because I know I was speaking to him recently because we invited him to the Ducklings Showdown, and he's been moving recently. Of course, like he hasn't been able to like really get into the swing of things, but he wants to. Like he wants to compete. He wants to not only perform well in DreamHack, but he wants to be like a back-to-back champion.
Yeah, and that'd be awesome to see, honestly. But yeah, here we go. We got a. This is something I know. This is one of the things I remember. The Glaive Adept push. The classic.
Yeah, the classic. RIP. You know, classic will be back for the military soon. But yeah, he will be back. This is a lot more committed though. This is actually 6 gateways, not your typical 4 gates. So that's gonna be a lot more adepts here.
He's got 6 gate glaives and like on 2 bases, but oh, EnDerr is just kind of get a bit of a surround here with the Lings, with the Roaches in the front, and he has a lot of Lings on him right now. But the Adepts shade into the natural, getting a couple of drones so far. A nice surround with the Lings and the Roaches.
Yeah, definitely.
Trying to pick up as many as possible.
The problem is, at the same time, the War Prism did sneak into the main base. The Adepts are also here. More drones are going down.
Yeah, more drones being picked off in the main. While the main force numbers have been cut down, having those in the main is really going to pull his army apart a little bit. He manages to deal with the ones in the front and is now here to clean up the Adepts in the main. We'll see if the shade manages to complete. Looks like they will shade into the natural, but EnDerr is ready to catch them out as more get warped in.
Oh god,
a few drops into the third.
Yeah, he picked a couple in from the main base, dropped them into the third, and now all up 15 drones have gone down.
Yeah, this is quite a lot of damage towards EnDerr. He's been able to clean up most of the Adepts, but at the same time, 17 drones lost is quite a lot at this point in the game.
Yeah, definitely, especially because it's not like EnDerr was droning up heavily either. Like, he was focusing on his army, and yeah, he was punished because of it. Yeah,
he had that like really big Ling count to start off with. Like, he definitely did not have the worker supply in the first place, and now he has to recover from that, losing another 4 to 3 of those Adepts in the main. And yeah, Creator just free to start working on a third base.
Oh yeah. I mean, so thankfully EnDerr, he does have vision of it. Oh my god, more drones going down.
Oh no, these 3 Adepts in a Warp Prism are just being such a pain for EnDerr right now. And it's just giving Creator so much more space.
Yeah, so EnDerr, he's learning the hard way. You know, when you deal with Glaive Adepts, this is why it's so important to have a decent queen count. Like, you need to make sure you can ward away the War Prism. Like, if it has free reign like this, it can just fly around and do whatever it wants.
Absolutely, and that can be such a problem with Adepts like this. Just poking in between, especially on a map like Lightshade, where there's nothing but a cliff between the third and the main.
Yeah.
You can just kind of do this and just keep annoying the Zerg. And yeah, if you don't have the queens for it, it's just a pain to deal with.
Yeah.
Ooh,
exactly. As all this was happening, the Dark Shrine was finishing up. We have Immortals on the way as well. And where is the detection? There's an Overseer being warped in, but that's it. Yeah,
there's nothing here, and this is gonna get gets a couple of drones before managing to be hold position surrounded and picked up. You know, not too bad.
It definitely could have been worse.
Oh yeah, could have been way worse, but some good hold position micro keeps the DT from doing much else, as just an Immortal Sentry army coming out, just so strong right now for Creator.
Exactly, like even using the DTs to warp in Archon, so it's going to be even harder to get a nice surround.
Yeah, this is looking like quite a tough army comp to beat. Ling's coming in for a run by on the third, and a decent Roach count, but we'll have to see how this holds up against the might of the Protoss army.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's no links to buffer. A lot of the Ravagers are already getting focused down.
Oh, yeah, those Ravagers were out of position, and they're getting picked up really quickly here by the Archons. And the army split up here, but we'll have to see if there's enough forces here from the Zerg to really hold this off.
Yeah, it looks like, I mean, EnDerr has a decent amount. He's pulling the boys as well. He's trying to buy down some of these units.
Yeah, the drone's coming in for a bit of surround to keep them in place, and there is quite a surround here from the Roaches. And actually, he's able to produce enough numbers and defend. And he's still got quite a bit left in the way of Roach Ravager. Just barely able to get the surround there. And, oh, this Immortal getting picked off in the middle of the map.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, EnDerr, he holds on, but at what cost? Like, I do definitely feel like he has to at least kill the third base. To be fair, it's already softened up by the Lings from earlier. Like, there are no shields.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ling run by did quite a bit here to the Nexus. And, nothing but Zealots to hold this off here. And the couple of Immortals in the War Prism. Oh, and the Nexus goes down. This is not too bad for EnDerr right now.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's not really nicely done. The third base does go down. A lot of these Roaches are going to be cleaned up, though, with beautiful War Prism Micro by Creator.
Yep, name a more iconic duo. War Prisms and 2 Immortals.
Yeah, exactly.
He picks up 1 Immortal, but he gets the other one. Okay, he keeps them both alive, just barely. Ooh, Zealots here to reinforce. Should be able to clean up this part of the army, but EnDerr at home definitely reinforcing, having that base up over Creator.
Yeah, like this would have been disastrous if Creator was still on 3 bases, but because EnDerr was able to take out that third, like, things are kind of okay. I say kind of. EnDerr, he's still down in workers, and he still needs to deal with this, but like, he's so close to stabilizing.
Yeah, he took so much damage from their death push, and while defending, it was the defender's advantage helped out a lot to just barely hold on, but he did lose a lot on that attack, and he's gonna have a bit of a tough time catching up economically. Like, he's still 10 workers down, and it's not insignificant at all.
Definitely. He needs to not just drone up, but like get a 4th base up and running. More importantly, get some tech. Like, he's still kind of stuck on Roach Ravager at the moment.
Yeah, all he has is Roach Ravager and +2 range, and like, you know, it's for this late in the game, he's really under-teched. Like, we've already got High Templars coming up for Creator.
Oh, but you know what? I'm really surprised, actually. Like, where are the Immortals? Sure, Creator has 2 Immortals in the War Prison, but he didn't remake any more.
Yeah, he's not been producing Immortals. I think he's been focusing all his resources towards High Templar tech.
And as a result, like...
he's
yeah? Uh-oh.
He's got a lot of resources. Okay, the dropper lord. He's got a lot of his resources into DTs and Archons and High Templar, so... Only 2-3 Immortals.
Yeah, and there's not that much buffer either, so like, it's definitely possible for EnDerr to maybe make something happen here if he was able to break through the front line and get to those juicy Immortals.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 2 Archons left, really low on shields. The shield battery's drained, which is definitely a tough situation for Creator on the defense here. But just manages to push him away.
Yeah, and with that, he's been able to hold on with minimal units. Again, like, there's barely anything really protecting these Immortals, but he was able to hold on, get his 3rd base back up and running, and now he's looking, like, again, so good. EnDerr, like, where's the 4th? That's kind of what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, his 4th is not even close to up yet. He isn't even looking to move towards a position where he can take a 4th. And he's really just committing hard to this Roach Ravager, and yeah, we'll have to see how well that works out for him against Immortal Archon.
Yeah, definitely. I do think there was maybe an opportunity where he could have made it work, and maybe if he had like reinforced with Lings as well to like buffer for the Roach Ravager. But now with pure Roach Ravager and Creator, because he's aware of it, like he has been focusing on that Immortal production, and now like his army is actually looking formidable.
Oh yeah, this is looking like a Roach Killer army right here. Ooh, big attack coming in. basically his entire army coming in towards the natural here. Gonna try and open up the rocks on this ramp, get himself a better position. He does get caught out by Creator a little bit and forced back a bit.
Yeah, and again, like, because of the lack of anti-air, like, this Warp Prism has been around the entire game. It's been so annoying for EnDerr to deal with, just like a thorn in his side.
Yeah, it just has not been touched the entire game, and it's still running around with Archons inside of it. And here we go in the front, some decent force fields here, able to split up the army a little, and with a good position further back in the choke point. Looks like Creator has a strong defensive position here. EnDerr mostly poking in, trying to drain the force field energy. Yeah, looks. We've got the super battery up and running as well, mostly just poking with vials. Yeah,
I mean, he's trading as best he can, but like, there's no way that he can break that position like that. Like,
no, that is how you hold a choke.
Yeah, he was basically ramming into a brick wall. Like, that was insane. There was all these shield batteries to back up the line of immortals that were untouched the entire time.
Yeah, basically just like hold position in the choke point. You know, it's not a position that you can break very easily from one angle.
Yeah, and oh my god, I was not expecting this, but so we do have some tech going down. We have the infestation pit finishing up, and hey, we have swarm hosts on the way.
Swarm hosts? Ooh, that's a choice.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best course of action, but it certainly is one.
Yeah, like, there are a couple of different ways you can go about things, and I do like this. Like, as much as I know you love mutas, but like, because of the amount of anti-air here already in the main army, it would have been difficult to pull off. Swarm host, maybe he can catch Creator off guard.
Yeah, he can use it to try and surround and hold the movement of the Protoss army here. Maybe drop on top of the Immortals. Though they are pretty well surrounded by Stalkers at the minute. This run by over here getting caught out.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's a lot of Ravagers and trying to trade uphill with files. Not sure if that's the most efficient position, but he's just trying to find some way in.
Yeah, like, really, EnDerr, he's just trying to buy time. He's like keeping his opponent busy to get out that massive swarm host count, and he's getting a decent amount of them.
Yep, but there's so many immortals here, and the blink forward, pushing back the Ravagers, a good number getting taken down at the storm and the choke point. Pushing back the Ravagers once and for all. At least from this position, and the locusts here is just gonna daintily fly over, just like,
Yeah.
It's just going.
It's honestly, it's a bit of a shame that EnDerr was forced to reveal his hand. Like, I'm pretty sure Creator didn't really have an idea that the swarm hosts were on the way, and now they were revealed in the center of the map. They weren't really able to do anything, and now Creator is well aware of them.
Yeah, and most of his supply right now is those swarm hosts. He has so little in the way of Roach Ravager because of how much, like, supply and resources he's put into swarm hosts that until the locusts come up, he's just not got much in the way of an army.
Yeah, and now that the locusts are recharging, we'll see how much he can do. He just lost his 4th base. Workers are going down. The locust wave, they're just not doing enough.
Yeah, it's not doing enough, and that's the risk with swarm hosts, is if your main army gets caught out and you lose its supply, like, swarm host is so expensive and it's such a massive bloat on your supply that, you know, rebuilding an army like this and recovering from a situation where you're so far down in army is just really difficult.
Oh yeah, definitely. And with this is the final locust wave, and he's forced to pull the boys. The 3rd is under threat, and he lasted a decent while, but GG gets called.
GG, and game 1 goes to Team Envy's Creator.
GG.
GG.
And honestly, like, even though EnDerr lost the first game, I'm impressed he was able to pull himself back from a really off position, from losing all those drones.
Yeah, no. Using 20 drones to a single glaive adept push is not an easy position to come back from. But hey, he made it work, and he was able to coast it out a little bit. Did pretty well, but ultimately was not able to hold on until the very end.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was able to. I like the ideas behind the swarm host, but again, like, a lot of it was kind of late. You know, it took him a long time to get a 4th base up and running. It took him a while to switch out of Roach Ravager as well.
Yeah, like, he was basically stuck on Roach Ravager, and then his tech choice was Swarm Host, which work well if you're not forced to reveal them early and you have enough numbers and you're not losing your entire like primary army. But unfortunately, it did not work out.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll see what happens here in game number 2. We'll see if Creator once again goes for a glaive up style. And if he does, we'll see if EnDerr has kind of realized some of his mistakes and maybe he can tighten up his defense a little bit.
Yeah, we will have to see as we load into game 2. Here we are on Death Aura LE. LE, of course, as we know, stands for legalities extradited. Legalities extradited. I don't remember what extradited means, but it's a word that I know exists.
Nice.
Anyways, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, the red Zerg hailing from the Philippines. The man with 4 names. It is, of course, EnDerr.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Team NV, already up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. It is Creator.
Here we go again with the early pull from EnDerr. Probably once again a very much a defensive thing. You know, he knows his hatch is going to be blocked, so he's might as well do something with his resources while he waits.
Yeah, there's something about Southeast Asian Southeast Asian Zerg players. It's both EnDerr and Miyamika in ZvP.
Yep.
Like they just don't go hatch first, and it's not like they want to be aggressive. It's just their style.
It's just their ZvP opening, and you know what? It's not terrible. It has its place, that's for sure. You know, I mean, in the days when I played this game, gas pool hatch was my opening usually in ZvP as well. You know, just get out of your lings a little bit earlier, keep your stuff from getting scattered, stuff like that. And it allows you to defend any early cheeses a little bit better.
And because you also get the early lings, it also means that you can deal with the pylon at the natural earlier as well, so you can actually get your natural at the natural base location.
Yeah, instead of having to be forced to take the 3rd base location. Ooh, Ling actually getting to the main here. Not going to see too much, but always good to check.
Yeah, definitely. Like he gets to see the gas count. Unfortunately, it does get taken out before he gets to see the tech of choice.
Yeah, but seeing the 2 gases so quick, kind of gives you an indication that you can try and read into it being a Stargate opening like this.
Oh, and again, interesting from Creator. He sees the pool first, just like last time. He just wants to make sure he doesn't die to a big link flood or anything crazy like that.
Yeah, just in case. You know, Southeast Asian players can be unpredictable at times.
Oh my god.
I'll say that.
Yeah. Speaking of unpredictability, so I could be reading into things a little bit too much. We have a decent amount of lings on the way. We can see EnDerr, he did cut drone production a little bit, and we have pneumatized carapace in production.
Yeah, he's going for the OV speed. He must have seen the double gas. Was like, all right, I want to stop this. Whatever it is.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Like, we'll see if it's just for scouting purposes. It may just be. I mean, secretly, I hope for eventual dropper lords, but...
Oh yeah, that would be funny to see. But yeah, a decent ling count. Probably trying to just discourage things, but the Void Ray first will definitely stop anything from happening with these lings, as well as that shield battery.
Oh yeah, as the Void Ray does take out one of the Overlords. With Overlord speed, EnDerr, he dives in, he confirms what he already knew, that there is a Stargate opening, and with this, he should be able to escape with the majority of his Overlords that are out on the map.
Yeah, sorry, I got a message and got distracted. Yeah, no, the Void Ray, just doing the Void Ray thing. Good to see that it's still in meta. You know, it's a bit less boring than seeing Oracle Phoenix first and just being able to cast the game blindfolded. And As toxic as that sounds, I mean, to be fair, that is usually how it goes.
Yeah, I was about to say, so things have changed. I can't remember if you were around during this, but there it is, mate. We got double Stargate on the way. We're gonna have some Void Ray production.
Definitely wasn't around for when double Stargate became a thing that people did. I remember there was, you know, all-ins where you get triple Stargate Void Ray, but double Stargate is an opening, not something I've seen.
Yeah,
Not at least from anyone that isn't named Rotterdam.
To the dismay of many Zerg players, this has become a lot more popular. Even players like Cyril have expressed their disdain for ZvP.
I mean, when aren't Zerg players complaining about ZvP? Let's be real.
Players in general.
As Zerg players. As Zerg players, I think you can agree we complain about ZvP a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely. But with this double Stargate play, obviously we're going to see these Void Rays come out. Usually this gets scouted, and then the Zerg player switches into Hydralisk to help deal with this. And then it's on the Protoss player to come up with their AoE of choice to help counter the Hydras. But again, EnDerr isn't your typical Zerg.
Nope. He has not seen the double Stargate yet, but there are 2 Void Rays out already, and I feel like when you see at least 2 Void Rays, you know there's going to be at least a couple more.
Yeah, exactly. Now, when EnDerr got caught winds of the Void Ray counts, immediately he just cancelled his Roach Warren and threw down that Hydra Den, and even confirming just to make sure.
Yep, he sees another Void Ray in the main, he sees the 2 Stargates, he knows something is definitely going down, and he needs to tech switch immediately.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He can't have roaches here. He can't. There's no way to all in this.
Oh boy, but I mean, we were focusing on the Void Rays. This Oracle is still dealing a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, he's been poking at the drones quite a bit. He's already taken out 6 in this one bit alone. I saw him take out a couple more as they were transferring. You know, Oracles are still Oracles.
Yeah, definitely. They're still quite dangerous. Speaking of danger, all the Void Rays are here looking to try and snipe the hatchery.
Yep, he's moved the Spore up, and he's got his Queens over here in the main, ready to protect, while his Hydras have just started. Light, interesting thing I've noticed. There's a Nidus on the way.
Oh boy, so there are different avenues of approach here. If you go straight Hydra, you can go for an all-in. You can go for like this big 3-base timing, and we've seen like big like Hydra, sometimes even Infestor pushes across the map. I love this because EnDerr's gonna try and incorporate his Queens as well and send everything across the map.
Oh yep, and here comes the first Nidus popping up over by the 3rd base, just out of vision. Probably gonna pull those Queens and those Hydras over and try and do some counter damage and hope that he can out damage the Void Rays. And here they go, the Karens into the Nidus. Here they go.
They are here. Shield batteries are being thrown down, but there's only one ready right now. Forces a recall.
Yep, recalling the Void Rays back home. This is gonna be forcing Creator on the defense. He's definitely not making use of these Void Rays like the way he wants to. You know, able to just beam down these buildings. He's forced back home, and he just has to sit back here and defend. And while these can be good at defense, you know, it's still not a position he wants to be in with the Nidus that he hasn't been able to take out.
Oh yeah, definitely. At the same time, Overcharge was used, but it has already been wasted. He's actually pulling a couple of boys as well, trying to just barely hold on.
Yeah, there's an Archon out which is doing really good damage against these Hydralisks, and he's forcing them back into the Nidus. Able to hold, but there's another Nidus in the front here. It does get taken down, but as such, he loses a Void Ray. And overall, a good defense, but definitely still pretty good for EnDerr, forcing everything back home like that.
Oh yeah, an amazing defense so far. Again, EnDerr is looking to kill his opponent. He's looking to just straight up end the game. One thing that did happen throughout all of that, I don't know if you noticed, but the the Templar Archives was here at the 3rd base, then he got sniped. So that means it will have to be rebuilt. There are no storms.
Yeah, he got up the Templar Archives just in time to get up one Archon, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Alright, here comes the Zealot. Still a good Void Ray count. He's been producing this entire time. Hasn't let up. Should be able to stay holding here. But EnDerr is still very aggressively going up. He's making another base, you know, throwing down a Roach Warren to help buffer for the Hydras. Possibly going to Lurkers, I would imagine, if the game goes that far. But yeah.
We shall see. A decent amount of Hydras are popping out. Still 2 Queens forced to cancel at this 4th base. Oh god, but still there are a dangerous amount of Void Rays out. The one thing going for EnDerr is that in this position there aren't any shield batteries to support.
Yeah, this is definitely a better position for EnDerr, and he's already on the high ground here. No need to fight for that. He will be forced back into Nidus, but canceling the 4th here while his 4th is basically almost done is going to be very good for him to stay ahead and keep going for the throat and keep this pressure up.
Definitely, and he's just going back and forth, again, buying time while he expands at home. The problem is that slowly but surely that Hydra count is being dwindled, and it's just being dealt with.
Yeah, he's picking it off, and finally Creator has the space and the army to move out. He's got the Templar Archives up, still got a massive Void Ray count. And he's going to finally be able to take some map control back after like the past like 2 or 3 minutes of being under constant pressure and just trading.
Yeah, and what's terrifying is this entire time his army has just been getting larger and larger. Look at the disparity in the army supply. Like, EnDerr just hasn't been able to keep up.
Yeah, unfortunately, because Creator was able to trade so efficiently and stay on the defense like that, he's built up a massive army supply lead, and oh, it's not looking too good now that Creator has the space to go on the offense. These Archons just absolutely melting these Hydras.
Yeah, just pushing through international. GG, well played gets called.
GG, game number 2, and the match goes to Creator. And he will be moving forward in the bracket to the round of 4. Round of 8, sorry. My brain stops for a second. But yeah, overall, EnDerr showing what he's capable of, but in the end, you know, the Korean player, the one with tons of international experience, you know, holding out.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
EnDerr, again, held out impressively.
For sure, for sure. As I just quickly message the players, well played by EnDerr. Like, I think I like the ideas behind that, but as we were saying, that the Nidus play that he was going for was meant to kill his opponent. It was meant to like catch his opponent off guard and just try and end the game. And when it didn't, every single time he would lose more and more Hydras, and the Hydras are incredibly expensive. Like your push just gets weaker and weaker over time.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to keep pressure on for a while, but you could tell that it was very slowly dwindling away. Like, he couldn't keep it going for long. Like, he was just getting out traded.